Good morning, good people. This is your PooleProof wisdom moment. Want to know a secret? Well, today is my birthday, February 25th, 2022. I've reached, remarkably, level 59. That's right. 59 years ago today, I came into this world literally kicking and screaming, very loudly. So for those of you who have wondered why my voice is so loud, I can't help it. I was born this way. But I am thrilled to be here. Often surprised as I've gotten older that I've been given the gift of doing so. It never is something I lose sight of, the gift of another year and what you can do with it and how committed I am to not squander it. So many of us take life for granted and we say that life is always the same old, same old. Well, for those who are not here to live it, I guarantee you, they would give anything to have the opportunity to have the same old happen again. As a result of thinking so much about what I'm doing with this life, I am also ready to share with you something that many of you already know if you've read my books or heard my podcast or wherever you found me. You know, this is also the 30th anniversary of the day my mom passed away in 1992. Now, I know that when people hear that, they immediately go to a very sympathetic place, and I appreciate it. I do. I really do. But let me tell you, in 30 years, you never get used to being without your mom. Don't let anyone tell you differently. But you adapt to the fact that instead of holding on to what you understand as the physical presence of that mother, you learn to hold on to everything else she gave you. And let me tell you, my mama, Clara Louise Poole, she gave me everything. Though I was 29 when she passed away, in those 30 years that have now passed since, I learned that from the time I was a wee little fella, she started preparing me for the possibility that one day she wouldn't be here, and she literally didn't stop until the day she left this planet. Now, for that matter, I find it interesting that the way that she passed away was something that was important in terms of my formative understanding of how I saw the world. And I was 29, just turned 29. And a lot of people hearing that says, oh, that's so sad. And it was. But I took it as a sign, given all that she'd done for so many years to prepare me after the 8.5, 9 years that she struggled to deal with the health challenges that she had to deal with and survived them all, despite the fact that initially doctors told her that she was not going to live more than 6 months to a year. She made it 8.5, 9 years later. I took it as a sign that she was letting me know in her own unique way that she had gotten me and my brother and my sister at the time to the point where she figured she had done her job. She had raised all of us to adulthood. We were able to be self-sufficient. We were able to make our own decisions. And she had put in her work, and now it was time to go home. So as sad as that can be, because you don't ever want to lose your mom, you really don't, I understood that she had served her purpose. And it was one of the basic and initial formative lessons that she gave me, which is that we are all here for a very specific amount of time. And when our work is done, we get to go home. I believed it then, I believe it now. I believed it when my sister passed away. I believe it when my brother passed away. I even believe it when my little furry babies have passed away. And that's not a maudlin thought. It's uplifting and inspiring, because where I am on this, my 59th birthday, is a man who awakened this morning as I've awakened for every year and every day of those years that I've had since, with a sense of purposefulness and understanding that I'm not just here for myself, but for others, sharing my life and my essential lessons learned from the experiences I've had, the wisdom of my mother, the wisdom of my ancestors, all of it coming to bear on how I go about living in this world. As a result, I don't fear anything except bees. Yeah, bees scare me because I'm allergic. But I'm scared of nothing else. I am fearful of nothing else. And I don't worry because I know that I am doing the work I am here to do. And then until such time that time has come to an end, I will continue to do it. My faith dictates it, my experiences dictate it, and my own individual decision-making ability dictates it. And that's the reason I have joy. It's an interesting thing. A lot of people encounter me and it seems like they're sometimes even angry. Why are you always in such a good mood? I get asked. And I always respond with the same response because it's the only one that makes sense. Why wouldn't I be? Anyone who has lived with and lived through what I have, and that applies to anyone who's lived with and lived through anything, you learn to appreciate the small moments, not the grand gestures, but the small moments when you learn what you are really here to do, why your life matters, how you can influence others understanding their value. And when you get that level of understanding, you don't spend your time trying to deal with all the foolishness, the messy people, messy circumstances, all the isms that exist within society. You go about living your life as an individual who is influencing and impacting other individuals, one person, one experience, one circumstance at a time. And that's what I do. And it gives me great joy. You know, no one in my family lived beyond the age of 55, beyond my grandparents. I am surprised to be here. In fact, I certainly say no one is more surprised that I'm here than me. Most of my life, after 29, I prepared for not being around that long. And while I still get up every day without any sense of whether or not today will be the last day or tomorrow or 30 to 50 years from now, what I can tell you is I don't really give a lot of thought to it because I'm too busy living. I'm too busy remembering all the gifts I've been given, all the lessons I've been taught, and all the things that really, really, really matter. And I'm here to tell you, good people, most of the shit that people spend their time on doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't. And when you live in that space, when you dwell in possibility and hope and faithfulness and gratitude, I can't even speak enough on gratitude. You know what you don't do? You don't squander your life. When my mom passed away, as I mentioned, I actually ended up years later inheriting something when my sister passed away that she carried around with her. It was this. See, it's every woman of a certain generation, particularly, perhaps not so much now, had their purse. And in their purse, their lives existed. And in those purses, we children saw our mothers do tremendous things. It's almost as if they had a bottomless space within it, where whenever something popped up, Mama always had exactly what you needed somewhere in that purse. And as I was going through my own mother's, I can tell you, I was able to find memories that I had long forgotten, that I was able to discover anew, that made me sit and smile, that made me think and remember, and certainly appreciate the mother that I've always known, that I've always loved, that I've always been inspired by. And the thing about these types of lessons are when you look back at someone who was prepared for pretty much everything and anything at a moment's notice, it gives you a bit of bearing for your own life, which is, I live by a basic philosophy of expect nothing, but anticipate everything. And when I say that, I mean, don't worry about what's going to happen, but realize things can happen. And when they do happen, that you may not know exactly what to do, but that you eventually will. It also fits within a point of view that I hold, which is whatever it is, it's all going to be okay. I believe that, I've experienced that, I've shared that, and I will continue doing so. And as I go into level 59 with full intention, with a great sense of joy, simply being here, with no intention whatsoever of squandering this beautiful life that I've been given. And that's not to say that it's perfect, people, but it's still life. As I go into it, I do so with the encouragement of the ages and the wisdom of my family and friends who have gone on before me, and the experiences I have with those who remain here still, who inspire me every day. And when I am able to look back over my life, there's one constant. It's faith. Faith is my superpower. I don't care what the circumstance is. I don't care how daunting the situation may appear. I have faith. I have faith that it's going to work out. I have faith that I am loved. I have faith that I am serving a purpose, and I have faith that I am doing the work that I was literally created and put here on earth to do. I am as committed to it now that I'm 59 as I was the first moment I realized that's why I'm here. And so today, I want to bid to you, please do the work, find your purpose, appreciate your life, and that means all of it. It doesn't matter if it's the moment when you are at your worst or at your best. It matters that you understand that you are not here as a coincidence. And when you get that purpose in mind, when you are able to find the path to fulfill it, let me tell you something, good people. That's freedom. So today, on this, my 59th birthday, and in a nod to my late mom, Clara Louise Poole, who on this day chose to let me know I was ready to go into the world, I say thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you, to share with you, and hopefully inspire you a little bit. Because if that's something I can do, it's something you can do. Remember I said I see part of my role as putting more good into the world than I take from it? I encourage you to do the same. Doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. Small things, one person at a time, makes all the difference. God bless you. And that is your PooleProof Wisdom Moment for today, my birthday, 2022. You can find my podcast, PooleProof Wisdom, on all podcast platforms. You can find my books online with online booksellers everywhere and in audio form on Audible. And of course, you can find me pretty much everywhere on social media because I try to spread the message as much as I can of love, hope, and faith, including my YouTube channel, which is Charles K. Poole. That's what you look up on YouTube. Make it a great day. Celebrate, live abundantly, find hope, and pass it on. Take care, folks.